Hey guys, I've been getting a lot of emails from the public and from dealers asking about the industry and what happened in 2010 and also some of the players. So I'm going to talk about a very common example as to why there's been a glut of product on the market and what it happens on the dealer floors. This is my best example. These are two CFMoto vehicles that were assembled by CFMoto China. CFMoto is now a subsidiary here in the U.S. It was a joint venture with a gentleman named Lev that I know, and the Chinese management has come in and they've decided to stop selling to a lot of the private label companies that they used to sell to before. And whether they listen or not, a lot of the Chinese, what they don't understand is that they flooded the market and caused the problems that they've affected themselves. And this is the most obvious example, and it's very hard to explain this to a Chinese management, but the best example is when you have a very limited number of dealers, let's say 200, 300 scooter dealers in the country, and one sales rep is trying to sell a CFMoto, and another sales rep is selling a private label CFMoto, be it a Q-Link or a TNG or a Diamo, and it's the exact same bike. Let me show you. These are both E-Charms, okay, made by CFMoto. The rims are the same, shocks are the same. Once you get to the top, you notice that the European turn signals are the same, but the front grille for the radiator is the same cut, but they changed the mold a little bit to give it this little retro look here, and the E-Charm has some chrome. This one also has a little opening on top. The Diamo just has the Diamo sticker. And then all they changed was the front dashboard and the headlamp. Other than that, they're exactly the same. Because if you turn around, you'll notice that they both have the same turn signals, same dashboard, same little dashboard. The sides are exactly the same on both units. No difference whatsoever. The E-Charm from CFMoto has a sticker, just a flat sticker. The Diamo has a little puffy metal sticker. So you got the same bikes. The new E-Charm is an EFI, of course. The Diamo is a carbureted, but the old E-Charm carbureted looked exactly the same. And of course, the biggest difference here is that Diamo would pay a little bit extra to put the Diamo logo on the side, or Q-Link or TNG. And then CFMoto has their CFMoto engine marking on the cover there. Other than that, they're the exact same bike. Fantastic unit, disc brakes on the front and back, CST tires. What happens to the U.S. marketplace when you have two units which are completely identical and they have two different prices, two different incentives, and dealer reps are selling to the same dealers? You have 2010, which is a market that is basically a lost year because you have TNG, Q-Link selling the Pegasus, TNG scooters selling their version of the E-Joule, and then you have Diamo selling their version of the E-Charm. It saturates the market. So then CFMoto has to go back to China and say, hey, we're not selling in the United States. What the hell is happening here? Well, you're not selling in the United States because you trashed your own brand name and you sold to all these private label people. Later on, a sales rep, we've had some of the sales reps, some of our guests on our blog before and our YouTube videos, come in and they have to compete with their own factory at 2 or 3 different prices. So the management in China doesn't understand that this might be a very big country, but it's a very small market. And they end up destroying the market for their own people. So their sales reps are out there struggling to sell ATVs and CFMoto scooters. Meanwhile, the Chinese management is just looking at making some quick sales, and they flood the market with very similar, if not identical, product. There was also Italjet, which when it came back into the US were just rebadged CFMotos with a different body frame. It just had a different structure here and a different front, and it said Italjet on it. How do I know this? Because MRP bought Italjet. We have all the plastics back there. So I know exactly that CFMoto has played these games with the private label importers. In the end, all it does is cannibalize the sales of the brand. If you want to grow a brand, you have to do it the right way. Kymco is the right example of how you grow a brand. You don't go around the U.S. distributor. You work with the U.S. distributor. You don't, how do I even say this in a nice way? You don't destroy your brand by selling it to everybody. You don't want to be the Village Bicycle where everybody takes a ride. And the only way to do that is to keep the brand name underneath your in-house, where you don't sell your engines to everybody and your parts to everybody. And this is what happens, CF Moto. Now you have people driving Diamos and Q-Links and TNGs and Italjets, and they're all CF Moto e-terms. So to me, that is one of the biggest downfalls of the U.S. market in 2010. We flooded the market. The same factories, be it Zongshan selling to Pep Boys or Zongshan selling to Piaggio, Zongshan selling to dealers, then everybody has very similar Zongshan from the same factory. And then that same factory gets disenfranchised. They get disappointed with the U.S. market because they see sales go down, and it affects them because every one of their importers and private labels are being affected at the same time, where if they only had kept one brand, they wouldn't be feeling the pain as much. And that's my biggest example as to why the U.S. market is in the state that it is. The same happened with Keyway, QJ, Benelli Andretti, Diamo, all these companies buying from the same factory that Vento used to buy, which is QJ. When you have 9, 10, 11 importers all importing QJs, it destroys the marketplace. It doesn't make it profitable for anybody. And that's my message to the manufacturers. They probably won't listen because that's the Asian way of doing things, try to sell to everybody with no regard to warranty or caring about the reputation of their sales reps out there. But hopefully the U.S. management or the new importers or the new people that get into the market will understand this. You don't destroy the marketplace with the same product.